Policing is a very important component of this puzzle because we as the African Caribbean community, since we've landed en masse from the Windrush generation, we've had very poor relationship as the African Caribbean population and communities and the Metropolitan Police, who when we first came were overtly racist and would brutalize us, where even teenage young men who were innocent and plucked off the streets didn't make it home from police cells. It was a normal thing in the 70s, where even a friend of my father's family were told that he had an asthma attack and he has blood around his mouth. Now in those times, who was doing the autopsies? We come to this stage and we find ourselves in a soft war where we don't have any say in how we're policed. Well, we want two things. One, we want the police to ethnically, proportionately represent the communities in which they police. Not specifically for us, but we are only concerned with gaining what our component is. We aren't distracted by other communities because we're at the bottom of every measurable metric. So our component is to get African Caribbean officers on the force within the communities they police. Secondly, we want key sensitivity training delivered to those who are operational and those who are incumbents to the force to understand the unique history of racism, which is institutional from the police, and insensitivities specifically aimed at our community for no other reason than our ethnicity. We are now involving ourselves in the political process at the highest echelons with an APPG, the African Caribbean Parliamentary Caucus, that is specifically established to deal with African Caribbean issues, whether we are domestic immigrants in the Caribbean or the so-called Commonwealth countries in Africa. It is time for us to step back from the race game, which has never worked for us other than for individual accolades. If you're an individual who is on the race circuit, you can gain every single accolade. You have no more power to bring us in the room or to represent us at an institutional level, but you would have every accolade that is there to give. It's no longer the hour for individuals. The call is for national representation at an institutional level to coordinate all of our activity in areas of a civic nature, entrepreneurial nature, and industry internationally to create trade missions. It is time. Not because anybody gives us permission, but because we grant ourselves permission with the understanding that all power is self-appointed. This is 21st century Garveyism. We don't harm any other community in self-organization, nor do we concern ourselves with any other community in our own specific community organization.